going on, family? How is everybody doing? Please get your libations. You may need something, some caffeine, some chamomile, a little something extra you may need for the show. I'm trying to get myself fired up, and I'm in a decent mood. Even with all of these shots that's been fired, fam. Anyway, before we get started, though, before I forget, I'm not even going to get into the book club. I'm going to try to get straight in it. I'll bring that up, hopefully, before the end of the show. Please hit the like button for me. Cost you no money. You can go to donatebrown.com or patreon.com/Carnell if you want to donate, or the newsletter in the description. You can also, why is this thing acting? You can also hit that bell so that you get notifications. Just smash that bell for me so that you get notifications. If you have not done that, I would appreciate it. Also go to subscribe to Brown, subscribe.brown.com, subscribe.brown.com, and add your name to my email list so that I can stay in contact with you. I do not spam anyone. I rarely use it, but I like to have it. I am not like some people. I'm not boys. I'm not going to send you, hey, I got something for you. I'm trying to sell something. Have you seen this? Hey. That's not me. So don't get it confused. I'm not going to spam you and try to hustle you and sell you on products that don't work. It's not what I do. I'm already throwing shade. So let's get into it, family. We're going to get into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now, you all know, and I try to sound somber because everybody, if you get loud, people say, Yvette was disrespectful. So I'm going to try. Let me make sure I get this set up. Make sure I have my phone on silent for 1 second. Hate when somebody will call you and you're in the middle of something. That's how people do, though. So I got to make sure. Anyway, Dr. Claude Anderson had an interview with the Breakfast Club. And he said some things that were very disrespectful of the rest of us. That's the only way I can put it. Of ADOS. What we've done, what we accomplished. He said the people who are in charge of, the people who are fighting for reparations right now don't know what we're doing. You know, we're backwards and we're all sorts of things. So I want to anchor the conversation in that. Because I want to anchor the conversation in the fact that I'm not a child. Claude Anderson is 85. Dr. Claude Anderson is 85. Because I know if I don't put the doctor, somebody's going to be in the comments. Well, at one point in the commentary, you left the doc off his name. You tried to be disrespectful. No, I'm going to put it on there. I'm not going to give you any excuses to be stupid today. Because I know you're looking for them. So, none of us are children. Dr. Claude Anderson said he's 85. I am 44. I think Antonio just turned 40. So let me just anchor the conversation in the fact that I am a middle-aged woman. You may be an elderly man, an old man, but I am a woman. You don't get to talk to me like I'm a child. You don't get to be disrespectful. I just want everybody to understand that respect goes both ways. I think we have to get out of, and this is a great conversation to do it, to get out of this mode where we allow people who are geriatric to actually say you can't talk because you're not as old as me. So we have to be perpetual children all of our lives because we're never going to be as old as you. Even if we're smarter than you, even if we know more than you, we're never going to be older than you. So that's kind of a trick that you use to keep us in the perpetual kind of, adolescence to where we can't talk and we can't disagree. Where you can be disrespectful to us as if we're like a little kid on your lawn, but we can't say anything. So when you consider Dr. Claude Anderson is 85, I want you to consider that he's not a boomer. He is a member of what you call the silent generation. Now, I want you, as we go along with this conversation, I want you to understand what that means. What that means is that he saw everything. You had a lens that goes way back. And you saw a bunch of opportunities and had opportunities that we didn't have. See, what we like to do a lot of the times, or at least some of the times, is that we like to do something very kind of specific, right? We like to come into something. I don't know what I had the alarm set for, but we like to come into something in a very specific way, and we don't see the lens. So we'll come into something and not see the lens of, well, timing, and this was his timing and what he's lived through versus us, we'll be just like, well, today. Put a pin in that because I'm going to come back to it, and it's going to be important in the context of the conversation that we're having about Dr. Claude Anderson on the Breakfast Club. So just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind. Now, another thing I want you to keep in mind is that this book is old. Dr. Claude Anderson called this a framework for 2005. This PowerNomics book he's talking about is now 2019, right? So I have the opportunity and I get to criticize you. Just because you're an elderly person or an old person doesn't mean you're an elder. They're different things. I know Tariq Nasheed used, when I said that, he used it, you know, how he's kind of just built his whole shtick that he's doing right now around ADOS and what we're doing. So I said it, he said, I said stand on your square, he said it. Like he's kind of built that whole vernacular around me because he doesn't have content. Oh, threw more shade coming. So let's go back to Dr. Claude Anderson for a second. Let's go back to him just for a second. And he called us backwards and said the people who are doing reparations don't know what they're doing. Now I just want to put that out there for everybody. The people who are doing reparations work right now don't know what we're doing. I want to say this quickly. And I want to say this to everybody in this space. Everybody's got to stop letting people put batteries in their back. No face, I'm talking to you. You let Tariq put a battery in your back. Boys let Tariq put a battery in his back. Then boys put a battery in Dr. Claude Anderson's back. Well, he said what he said. Don't know what they're doing. And they to do it differently. Y'all got to stop that because you're going to get yourself in a world of trouble that you can't deal with by letting other people put batteries in your back when you should just not be the Energizer Bunny today. So let's go to what I was just talking about. Let's talk about the batteries. Let's talk about the batteries in the back. Dr. Claude Anderson said the work that's being done. I want to just slow down and make sure we understand what's going on. He said the work that's being done today is based on his books. He said everything that's being done today is being done wrong, but it's based on him. Being respectful. I'm just adding criticism. Don't cry in my comments. Please don't cry in my mentions. Show some internal fortitude. This is just criticism. But here is the problem, right? Well, one of the problems is that, like I said, PowerNomics wasn't even designed for 2019. Sir, you didn't design anything. You see right there where it says the PowerNomics vision is a Black America that is politically and economically self-sufficient and competitive by the year 2005. You didn't even design a thing. You didn't design a thing for 2019. And that is apparent, sir. That is apparent in the conversation that you're having, that the thing that you built is not for today. It is not for the era that we are in right now. It's apparent to me and it's apparent to everybody that's paying attention. Okay? I want to say the second thing really quickly. Really quickly. You said in your interview, sir, that we should be anchored. You said in the Breakfast Club interview, Dr. Claude Anderson, that we should be anchored in the thing that matters, which is color. If you had been paying attention to us and not Dr. Boyce Watkins, who put that battery in your back, you would know that we have never been anchored in color. Because it doesn't make sense to be anchored in color. That's that people of color stuff that you say you don't agree with until you go and say something that contradicts you. You're contradicting yourself in that interview by saying we should be anchored in color, sir. You're contradicting yourself. I don't need to do anything. You're doing it all for me. PowerNomics was published in 2000. That's 20 years ago. Why didn't you keep doing work? Why didn't you keep building and making this something that we can actually apply in 2019? Why did you stop? and then come up here and claim something because some people wanted to be anti-ADOS and claim you as their ideological godfather and their political godfather, when really they just don't want to follow us, so they gotta follow somebody else. They weren't mentioning you 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But Africatown, which you were involved with and which was a failure, that's not who we are. That's not what we're anchored in. So you have to stop saying that we're anchored in your work. We don't have anything. We don't know anything about no Africatown. And we have said that we are anchored in a lineage that dates back to slavery and is disadvantaged and is accrued slavery and accrued disadvantage. And we can draw a line. That's what we have said. You're being very sloppy in your work. And let's just talk a little bit about what Africatown was supposed to be before we go on. Claude Anderson, author and promoter of programs to empower Black Americans, this was in 2005, plans a $43 million industrial park on Detroit's near west side to include a 250 square foot plant and later more than a dozen small factories. Anderson's company, Maroon City Development Company, won approval for the project December 13th from the Detroit Economic Development Corp. Mind you, again, that's 2005. That's 2005. I want you to understand that. And let me just, I'm going to the comments as I go. Somebody in the comments said, you need to just let Dr. Anderson do his work and you do yours. Don't call us backward. Don't say we're anchored in you. Don't say we're doing it all wrong. If this man can throw shade and he can talk about us, we have a right to respond. Some of y'all got to stop being cowards. And the person who just put that comment in there, you're a coward. Like, go do some FBA stuff. It's just culture. And y'all just going to laugh and do docs. Like, go do that. You shouldn't be here. You don't have the internal fortitude to be here. And I don't care about any of this other stuff. It's too much weakness going on. It's too many people who want to, but I don't want to put my head up. I just think you ought to do this and you ought to just do that. I don't want nobody shooting at me. They're going to be talking about me. I'm scared. No, we're not doing that no more. I'm tired of it. Either you're a soldier or you're not. Either you can be on the field of intellectual and political battle or you cannot. If you cannot, now's the best time to walk away. Go watch a documentary. Before you know it, we'll be on Hidden Colors 35. Go do that. Go be that person. I don't think you'll be missed. Let's continue, shall we? Okay. So Africatown, skin color, that's not our thing. So this idea that we're anchored in you is kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem. But another thing I want people to understand about Dr. Claude Anderson is that when I talked about the silent generation, I told you to put a pin in it. What you have to understand about this man, when I did the thing with the guy who Dr. Boyce Watkins called a billionaire, and we come to find out that he was not a billionaire and he was a hotelier who had all kind of problems and had really been run the gunner. And I said he was light-skinned civil rights. Dr. Claude Anderson is counted that too. You had the right look. You know, colorism is real, and it was especially real during that period. You had all of the advantages. What I just read was them talking about how you had a multi-million-dollar opportunity for business. See, what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about, he talks about doing business, that being the ground floor. And then we move to politics and we buy politicians. And then we move to media and we own media. Speaking of owning media, though, I didn't see you, Claude, when Byron Allen was fighting in that Supreme Court. Like, he's still fighting, but I didn't see you when he showed up. I didn't see you show up at all. I don't see you show up a lot for a lot of stuff that you say we need. But Dr. Anderson talks a lot about that, but he was positioned, attractive, light-skinned guy, worked in government. You were positioned for success, but you didn't succeed. Africatown didn't succeed. If I'm lying, I'm flying. No, I ain't talking about he's too old. No, we ain't talking about Netta. He's 85. He's been around for 85 years. If you 85, you've been around for 85 years. It's not hard math. Like, you had an opportunity to do all of the stuff that you say. Far beyond, see, you had an opportunity to do all that stuff before the height of income inequality. We have the worst income inequality now than ever. You had an opportunity to do some stuff, during the King era and all of that stuff. You had that opportunity and it didn't happen. And something else happened. So that didn't happen. So what happened? Well, you did it. And then you ended up filing Chapter 7. I'm not going to go through all of this. I've been through this before. I'm so tired of repeating myself. You had to go. Not only did this thing that you had that I would never have access to, the capital, to do it, but it went bankrupt. And not only that, but if you go through the video I brought up last time, he been running from this black bank, hiding assets, trying to put them in other people's names, doing all kind of stuff. See, let me help you understand something. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about group economics, and we have to work together, and we have to have a code of conduct, and that's what we have to do. But why are you running from this black bank and moving around assets? Allegedly, that's what it says in the complaint. Why are you doing that? See, group economics doesn't work unless everybody has a certain code of conduct. Unless everybody is like, well, I'm going to pay my debts. I'm going to be here. You were selling cheap tilapia. Don't nobody need your cheap tilapia. America has mastered fish and production. See, you don't understand timing, Dr. Anderson. They already did that. And now they locked it in. So now you trying to compete. It's like somebody putting together a corner store next to Kroger's or next to Ralph's or wherever you live, or Safeway, whatever the grocery store is, and trying to compete. You couldn't compete. You couldn't compete with people who are selling tilapia. What do you know about fisheries? You don't know anything about any of that. And you came and go look at the video. If you get a chance, go look at this video. Let me bring this video up, just so you see the name of it. PowerNomics, Dr. Claude Anderson, Waterland Fisheries. And he'll say, see, the black people, they just didn't buy from me. That's what happened. No. You didn't know the market. You didn't understand the market. You're like, has anybody ever seen those little amber butterflies and they're stuck in time? Like it's like they're beautiful, but they're ornaments or they put bugs in there too. The white people do. They put all kinds of stuff in there, but they're beautiful, but they're stuck in a moment. They're not alive anymore. They're just little butterflies stuck in this amber. That's what we have here. A man who doesn't understand how everything has changed, how wealth is locked in now. Dr. Anderson said, you only make money from labor. Yeah, that's the way it used to be. You used to have to work. Now people are living off of the inherited money of others. Yes, it came from wealth at one time, but not anymore. You're stuck in a moment that doesn't exist anymore. So you do have a solution, Dr. Anderson. You do. But your solution is for the Jim Crow era. That's what you're nostalgic about. You want to bring Jim Crow back. Well, we had the buses. I don't understand why Martin Luther King just didn't give us the buses. Just didn't build his own buses, because we had buses in Salem where I was. We had all the buses, and people came here and said, we want to ride the front of the bus on the white bus. And I told him, we don't got no white bus. We only got a black bus. And he said the black people told him, get a white bus so we can get on the front. Ain't nobody told you that, Claude. Ain't nobody told you that. It's like now listen, I have certain problems with how segregation happened and what didn't get redistributed. I have my own problems with like what happened when with segregation to integration, how it went and the change that should have been in place. I do, but I understand that we're past that. I understand that I have to deal with the world now as it is, not the world that happened then. And I understand that I wouldn't cheat a black bank. Like I wouldn't run around. If you go read the complaint, you don't have to listen to me. Just go read the whole thing about how it says Claude been running from this. You can't be Claude is caught in the amber. He's a fossil. You a fossil, sir. And you don't understand stuff. So go and read this complaint. He talks about we got to do group people numbers. We got to get in there together. We got to be together. Just go and read all of this. Nothing you got to hear from me about how this man is running, but talking to us about how we got to work together. I would never do business with you. You're gonna leave me with a debt and run off. And there's a lot more, family. Let me see if I can find this next little thing really quickly. Really, really. Oh, one thing I want to get to too, but I'll get to that in just a second in terms of how he says about buying stuff and all this stuff. I'll get to that in just a second. But let me just say this. He talks about buying politicians. He doesn't understand that we are in a post-Citizens United world. What does that mean, Yvette? I'm going to post. How does that matter, Yvette? How, Yvette? What that mean? We can still buy politicians. You're in a world where one billionaire politician might buy the whole election. Bloomberg might buy everything. He already bought what did he buy? He bought City Lab and he fired half the people. If I don't like what you're saying, I'm gonna buy the paper and I'm gonna fire half of you and get on out, get gone. I don't want to talk to you. We live in an era where billionaires are fighting for politics. Billionaires are in here fighting. And you're telling us with our 1,700 median, I don't even care if you put all them 1,700 together, and you can't do that because 1,700 median wealth means you don't have anything. You got zero in the bank. But I don't even care. There's no way you finna go compete with Bloomberg. He's about to buy the election, and you talking about we finna buy a politician. Do you understand how far behind, how locked out you are? And we're locked out because while Bloomberg's people, when he came, his people came, whatever, they were able through whiteness to amass wealth and use us as the shoes. So they were able to run around in little black shoes. We were like the commodity. And they were able to use us to build wealth, right? And so what happened from slavery on, other people were able to access wealth and get wealth while we were locked out. It's like a board people played on like Monopoly, right? But you can't play. You are the tools they use to win Monopoly. You are taken off the board. When you're taken off the board, you have not amassed that wealth and you cannot compete. And you certainly can't compete with billionaires. You don't understand timing. You don't understand why certain people, if you read that Malcolm Gladwell book, you don't understand why certain people became rich, whether it was Carnegie or JP Morgan around the same time, because they had the same opportunities and they got those opportunities through whiteness. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand America, and there's no way for you to have a plan about what ADOS need to do. And it certainly won't be no Africatown. And the whole thing don't really make no sense. I mean, wasn't your main lawyer on this case a white guy, a white lawyer who you were using? I'm talking about your main counsel, not any extra counsel you might have had. Weren't you using like a white lawyer to try to run away from this black CEO and take your money and hide your, what, isn't that what's alleged in the paperwork? If I'm wrong, let me know. Weren't you allegedly trying to hide assets using your white attorney, but you're talking about black group economics, right? Wasn't that your lead attorney? Why? Why, Claude? Why? Dr. Anderson, I'm sorry. Why? Why were you doing that? Why were you allegedly doing that? I mean, if we're supposed to be working together, come on. How'd it happen that way? How'd it go down? Don't trust me. Go look at the paperwork. And understand that the bank did this for Dr. Anderson, and then allegedly he's been shifty. So, and he's allegedly hiding the money, putting it in other, liquidating the assets, moving it around. That's the money that you were supposed to pay back so the black bank could give it to somebody else, or loan it to somebody else, and they could do a black business. You're an impediment to black business, running around trying to tell everybody else how to do black business. It's a problem. All of this is very much a problem. Water, land, fisheries. I always talk about, well, they doing it all wrong. Let's talk about your life's work, Dr. Anderson. Like I said, you had all the time and all the space to do it. What do you have? We have made reparations part of the conversation of the Democratic Party. And we've done that in less than 3 years. What has been your contribution, Dr. Anderson, other than this book? That's 20 years, that was written in 2000. What is your legacy? How have you done more than ADOS? I just want to know. I can't figure it out. Batteries in your back. Y'all better stop that. You got Jim Crow solutions. I don't need no Jim Crow solution. I need a solution for 2009. It's almost 2020. I need a solution for now. I don't need a Jim Crow solution for what? I in Jim Crow. Notice when you go back and watch the Breakfast Club interview. Every time they asked him a specific question, he went back and gave a history lesson. Well, you know, it's like your uncle at the barbershop. Well, you know, when we was young, we used to, and I tell you what, da da da. And ain't nobody fact check none of this stuff he's saying. One man about to buy an election, and you trying to buy one politician, but we doing it wrong. Learn to compete, he says. Wealth creates wealth. Dr. Anderson said, of course it does. And that's the problem. Wealth was amassed from us and extracted from us. So everybody else has the wealth. Of course it does. How y'all let people, I don't even know what goes on when you let people say stuff that's just common sense and contradictory. And everybody said, well, you know, Yvette, he really do got a point. What? Come on. Make sure I don't miss anything. Anything. I mean, one of the things that you have to come away with, though, is that instead of talking down to us and telling us that we're doing it wrong, even though we're doing more than you did and we're moving the needle more than you ever have, like, I think what the silent generation and the boomers have to do, you have to apologize. And you say that you have to say that we failed you. We didn't get our politics right because you were around during that time. So if you had a problem with what King did or whoever, you could have had a role in it. Why didn't you become a leader in your own way? Right? I wasn't there. You have to say at a certain point, you know what? We didn't get it right. And we apologize. And we're part of the reason that you're living through what you're living through right now. We messed up. Silent generations, boomer, we apologize. We messed it up. But you won't. Now I want to move on to something else really quickly because it all intertwines, fam. Everything that we're talking about intertwines. Now, I don't know. I have no idea when Phantom started talking. I have no idea how we thought somehow that we were going, there's nothing wrong with having a documentary, but I don't understand how we thought we were going to solve our political situation or resolve it or push America to do anything on our behalf through documentaries. Those of you who are quote unquote FBA, understand that the flag that you have in your Twitter handle, understand that I gave that to you. I birthed that idea. Not your Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed was talking about Haiti and Zimbabwe and we gonna get it popping over there. And we gonna do some business and I'm gonna build some houses. Nah, you go back to my page and I was wrapped in a flag and I took a lot of flack for it. But I said we're anchored in America. All of this stuff is ADOS. Like, y'all gonna have to figure this whole clone organization that y'all got out because Tariq Nasheed is out of ideas. And so he has to clone ADOS and mimic me all the time and use it because he doesn't have any kind of fresh idea except for buck breaking or something. And he got a buck breaking doc or something like that coming. You dig? And I want to just say before we get to the Phantom, I want to just say, if everybody doesn't understand what the end game was, and then it's some of y'all's fault that we here anyway. Everybody in my inbox, Yvette, I know you might not like what Tariq is doing. You might not like him, but please be unified. Please have some unity. Okay, I will do that. I'll do that. And I try to do that, and look where we are. I'm still fighting off pimps and phantoms. I fight ghosts and shadowbots and fight phantoms and pimps all day. And it's fine, but you got to understand that Tariq is a kid in the sense of you'll fight him and you'll go back and forth one night. And then the next morning you wake up and he's like the guy. You ever roast with one of your friends and you have that one friend who you roast back and forth with and y'all have a sleepover. And the next morning you wake up and the other friend realizes something he didn't say or he tried to use the same joke over again. And you be like, my dude, we've been through that. You can't like get a do-over. Like that's what Tariq does. And so that's why I had to that's why I was like, I gotta block this. I gotta block him because that's who he is. That's what he does. But before I blocked him, I tried to figure something out, but he never would answer the question. He never would answer why he said what he said about single mothers in this video that's up on my page. He never would answer it. He said, no single mothers on that MFer. We can't have that single mother. Shh. It's too much bush going on in the hood. And it's single mothers raising big out here, man. You dig? And I kept asking him, like, answer that. Like, you have to speak to that. And people kept telling me, well, Yvette, you know, that's a long time. So I said, okay, let's play a game. I'm going to put it out there to him. And if he really feels differently now, and it's been a long time ago, I put it out there like 12 times. If he feels differently now than he felt then, he say, you know what? I apologize. I'm different now. That's how I felt then. It was a long time ago. The fact that he didn't say that lets you know what he is. He still thinks, as I suspected, but y'all told me, no. He's trying to do some collective work now, Yvette. You don't understand. You dig? Okay, here we are now. He didn't apologize, so he still believes the same thing. Let me tell you what the end game is. Tariq and Jason Black got the same end game, but it's different in terms of how they play it out. The end game for Tariq is he's going to do this. He already said, now the trigger for you should have been when he said, this is about culture. This is about culture. We don't really do politics over here. I think if we get the culture right, we'll get the politics right. That means he ain't finna do no work. Learn how to read signs and symbols. I'm not finna work. I'm not finna do no political work. I'm finna sit over here in my $2 million house with the marble tables and chill. The other sign, he said, I'm gonna get the money back if I don't reach 200K. Then once he got to like 120, he said, I'm gonna keep it because they've been acting up and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna show them how to do it. You understand? You dig? I'm going to show them how to do it right because I didn't expect all the dusties to come out. See, what Tariq does too, he's not funny one-on-one like that. Like he has to think of stuff. So he thinks overnight and he comes out with dusty musties or something. He has to think about these little jokes. It's real weird. It's real kid-like. It's kind of like adolescent. But that's who y'all want, a lot of y'all. But you have to see the end game here in terms of where we end at. Where do we end at? Okay, Tariq said, I'm doing culture, right? So right now, he can't call black women bad wenches. Because if he calls black women bad wenches, it's going to mess up his FBA, which is a clone of ADOS, which is a collective empowerment movement for transformative politics. So he can't call us bad wenches right now. But what he's going to do when the politics don't pop off, because anything good dies in a pimp's hands. Anything good dies in a pimp's hands. So when the politics falls off, he's going to say, well, you know, it didn't work because we still got too many bed wenches. I want y'all to show up and support Buck Breaking Part 5. You dig? We got a lot of white supremacy out here. And the only way you fight that white supremacy is through buck breaking movies. Y'all know we got to, can y'all donate? Now we ought to get to 60,000 by the end of the episode. Can y'all donate to Buck Breaking number 20, please? Because that's how we going to fight white supremacy out here. We're going to fight white supremacy by supporting my documentaries. I raised 200,000 a pop. I never get private investors. I never use any of my own money. You dig? I use yours. You dig? But we need this for the culture. Anytime a Negro tell you for the culture, you better squint your eye and watch your pocket. Because he in it. Just do it for the culture, which means you don't get paid. You just make a contribution to me and my lifestyle. My marble tables. And I'm not giving the money back. I know I said I was if I didn't hit it. And you know Tariq has been weakened because he normally hits all of his targets. Now he's having a problem. But let's go to Jason Black too, because we got a lot of stuff going on in the community. A lot of stuff going on. Oh, y'all got me talking like a pimp. A lot of stuff going on in the community, you dig? Now this man has said a lot of wild stuff. You know, just stuff don't make no sense. A man whose mom was fat is likely to say fat women are sexy. Why do y'all follow people like this? I just want somebody to tell me. I want somebody to tell me why you will follow No Face. What is going on? This man won't even show his face. This man won't even show his face. He just like Tariq. He just like Tariq in this other video where Tariq called out single moms and said we can't have no single mom. How many of us, you know, I was lucky to have a 2-parent household, but how many of us had like single moms? And like he's spouting, like I don't think you all understand that he's spouting conservative rhetoric. This is Reagan-esque with the welfare queens, and then he says something stupid about we just gonna give them a plot of land and what? Well, what you gonna do with the plot of land? They can't squander that. That's somehow something you can really hold on to. And so your boy Jason Black ain't that much different. Your boy Jason Black ain't that much different. He says a bunch of stuff just to get people riled up, but he's unhappy. First of all, he's unhappy I remember when he went in on Antonio, and I think he's just jealous about Antonio going to law school because he had this little sour face note. I wish I had the time, go to law school. So much of the problem we have in black society stems from fat people that mess with us, make the assumption no one is going to sue them for doing illegal things to us. I wish I had the time. Child. But then you have him saying like voting is worthless. Right? So wait a minute. How is somebody going to lead a political? I'm not saying that voting. We've always talked about the role that voting plays and how voting is an exchange. It's not a gift. And we talk about everything that happens before voting. But you have somebody here who's telling you voting is worthless. Right? Voting is worthless. They don't have the population numbers to make voting work for them, but they do have an agenda. Let me just tell you, those of you who follow the news, you know that Asians are working hard against affirmative action, and they're doing it politically, especially Chinese Americans. Some people just say stuff. And I was talking about this last year while he was going around talking about a whole bunch of nothing. But they do have an agenda, and they put that together with socioeconomic clout, and that beats voting every time. Black people have the population numbers, but we lack an agenda. Thus, we vote for no reason but you just said we vote for no reason. Then you said it's worthless. Which is it? Do we have to have an agenda to vote? I totally agree with having an agenda to vote, but you said it's worthless. You can't even be consistent in what you write. Who is this person? Show your face. Can anyone name the victories over white supremacy the civil rights generation won? Let me just say this. And I want to say it. So I want to say it. I want to say it so I'm clear, right? Because we just had Tariq Nasheed say that single black moms shouldn't get reparations. It got to go to a male-led household. That's what Tariq Nasheed said. I want to let you know how offensive and divisive these people are. You have Tariq Nasheed saying that black single mother households can't get reparations. It only has to be a black-led household, and it can't be money. It's got to be a plot of land. That's just, when the person says that, you just know they're an idiot. Okay, you got Jason Black over here saying the civil rights movement didn't do anything. Now, I want you to compare those things, though. Sometimes we just go to the civil rights movement and talk about what it did or didn't do. No, compare two things for me. Compare a man who doesn't show his face with a man who took a bullet to the face. MLK died for the cause. Whether or not we can disagree, but he died for the cause. Now you have a coward over here who won't even show you his face. Not only that, you want to tell me that I can't criticize Dr. Claude Anderson, but you can criticize a man who died for the movement. Y'all don't have no problem calling Dr. King trash and saying all kind of stuff. But oh my God, when you bring up Dr. Claude Anderson's name, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I can't believe you brought up, he's an elder. This man died for the cause, and you won't even show your face. You got a picture of you everywhere with sunglasses on, looking like this. Oh, you Pink Panther, you little slick Negro. You show your face. I don't know how people let you be in this space, Jason Black, without ever showing your face. How can you lead people? And then this man will say, well, that's why I have to move in darkness because I have to lead him. We can't be a leader. If I'm here, nobody see me. I can hide because I'm Jason Black. The government sees you. The government sees all of us if they want to. You're not hiding from the government, Jason Black. You're hiding from black people. Because for you, this is a con. It's a way to make money and sell documentaries. But you don't want anybody to see your face because what happens if you can't make any money anymore? You want to be able to walk away from this with nobody ever having seen your face. So you walk away with the bag and and we never see you again. I don't even know if you're black. How do I know? How do I know that you're black? How do I know what you know? You said Antonio don't practice law. He does. You said that Antonio doesn't have a law license. He does. Everything you said about Antonio was wrong. So why should I trust anything you say? And why is your whole thing built around undermining Antonio when we don't even know what you look like? You could look like the bottom of my shoe. We don't know. We don't know whether or not you're a black man or you have perfected the black affectation like that little man who was the DJ in LA did. We don't know, and we deserve to know. You acting like you're leading people. Show your face. I don't know why anybody would listen to this little man if he won't show his face. For all I know, sometimes you sound like a little white man, but I understand they got this. Well, they got this picture of this man with a Kangol and glasses on. For all I know, you hired that little man. Because if I was a white person and I wanted to put a black person up to something, and I wanted people to think I was black, I would say, hey, you go out there and you kind of whisper when you talk to people, I'm Jason Black. I don't want nobody to know. And people be like, oh, he just changed his voice for the show. You, Jason Black, Black Truth, all them no-face people is you. No face, phantom, ghost, apparition. Oh, so tired of you. Why do you have a problem? What's wrong with you? You say all kind of stuff too. Let me find something else. Let me find something else idiotic he said. Because he say so much. And you know, he used to, he saluted Antonio's doc, freeway, Rick Ross cracking this until he found out it was Antonio's. And then all of a sudden, because it was Antonio's, he wanted to tear it down. But this is the person that says we have to move as a group and we have to have group economics and we have to have this. I'm tired of phantasms. Show your face. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on. People don't want to show their face. People want to have empowerment through documentaries. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is supposed to be. And I don't even know, even when we talk about Dr. Claude Anderson. Like, let's go back to him for just a second. When we talk about economies, we use the work of economists. We talk about Dr. Sandy Darity a lot. We talk about historians sometimes too, and we're talking about history, and we give stuff context, right? Have to have some meat on the bone. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about sometimes when we talk about your PhD is in education. It's just like I saw somebody called Dr. Boyce Watkins, an economist, and he went along with it. No, you're a finance professor. You're not an economist. Everybody got to stop trying to slick in different categories too. You got to stop trying to slick in different categories. Be who you are. Don't take on some skills you don't have. You got your PhD from Wayne State in education. That's who you are. In terms of economics, I prefer Darity, Dr. Darity, because he has an economics PhD from Duke. That's just different. That's who. It's your stuff is education. Go do your education stuff. If you want to build a syllabus or a criteria, maybe you should work with Dr. Umar Johnson. I know he's having some struggles with his school. I don't understand what we're doing. I don't think you know enough to be in the space and do what you're trying to do right now. I don't know. I don't think so. Don't look like it. And economics, now Dr. Darity, that economics PhD that he has is from MIT, not Wayne State. But see, we're in this space where, like, an education PhD from Wayne State is supposed to be, weighted more than a PhD in economics from MIT. But I think expertise should matter in this space. Dr. Watkins has a PhD in finance. I think you're great at counting. That's how you count a lot of us who have worked with you and for you out of our money. You're good at that. I wouldn't take that away from you. But in terms of understanding how economies work and how wealth calcifies and moves within an economy, you have no expertise either. See, and people will say, well, Yvette, are you an economist? But when you're not a thing, you have to defer to their expertise. That's why we use Darity and others who are economists. If I need history, I find a historian. I don't find an education PhD. Now, if I want to talk about education or how best to educate kids and black kids in schools or whatever, I find you. It's not what we are. MIT is one of the best schools in America. Top tier. Dr. Darity's black. You know what that means? Like, we got to start giving people their due. It's a problem that we don't. It's a real, real problem. And then the last thing, this may or may not be the last thing, because I got a lot to say. But we got to stop pushing this claim too. I heard him say, Dr. Claude Anderson. during the Breakfast Club interview that, how many times a dollar stays in the black community versus the Jewish community, and we just got to do better at keeping money in our community. Now, that's already a problematic way of thinking, because our community isn't black. That's how it was in Jim Crow. If you were going to keep something in your community, that means you were going to buy from black people. Again, you're a fossil. You're stuck in a period that doesn't exist anymore. So, no, now, since wealth is calcified, there's a Kroger over here, right? Or Publix over here. So you can spend money in your community and still not be spending with black people, but you don't know, you stuck in a period. You like stuck in this Jim Crow mindset, and it's not Jim Crow no more. Regardless of what happened and what you would have liked to have happened and what other people, that's not what we are. So in terms of the dollar circulating, there's no evidence to that. Like the claim that a dollar, and this is from Howard University, the claim that a dollar circulates in the black community for only 6 hours cannot be substantiated. The federal government does not produce data that would allow such a comparison. In addition, economists contradicted by Truth Be Told News, that was Howard's little thing to research stuff, said some of the data cited, such as information about dollars circulating in the Jewish community, is questionable because the federal government does not collect information by religion. And researchers would be unable to get the information accurately from a survey. So what they're basically telling you is that all this time you've been walking around and you've been saying a thing. You've been letting somebody say, man, we got to do like that other group. We got to do like them. They dollar circulate they dollar bump 8 times before it leave their community. Our dollar don't do before. People been saying this for 20 or 30 years. And what does it say about us that we never challenged them? We never said, where did you get that piece of information? Where does that come from? You saw that. You saw Claude. You saw him on the Breakfast Club, and nobody said, okay, where does that come from? Can you give me a citation? See, start saying that when people say stuff to you. What's this? Can you give me a citation? What is that? Where does that come from? What study? Or does it come from the Federal Reserve? Or does it come from a specific institution? Give me a citation, please. Don't just talk to me. How do we let something go for 20, 30 years, if not longer, without having some type of citation? Some type of citation. When we go to the fish market, what Dr. Claude Anderson failed at, group economics. When he sold the equipment, he was allegedly moving assets that were not his after bankruptcy to other people, allegedly family members. And he made this black bank CEO go to a deposition. I just don't understand. That sounds like a destroyer of black economics, rather than somebody who does black economics. Doesn't sound like somebody I would want to do black economics with. If I can't trust you, if your business goes bust, if I can't trust you to make good on the loan and you start moving stuff around, allegedly, that's what the complaint said. And you should have to answer for that. This is not me being mean or negative or being disrespectful. How do we let a man go on a show and talk about economics and tell all of us what we need to do, and we haven't made him answer for what exactly happened? See, you couldn't go on CNBC like you go on the Breakfast Club and start talking. They would be like, what happened here? And tell us what happened here. And they will be trying to cross you up, and they will have all the documents. We just let people run around and talk. We let pimps talk. We let phantoms talk. We let ghosts talk. We let anybody who run around and talk. We don't care. And then we wonder why we can't get no good politics. Then Jason Black has some stupid stuff. The phantom of the internet. That's what I call it, the phantom of the internet. Has some stupid stuff about Darity. Dr. Darity. Oh, he said it was about everybody. Now, let me just show you how stupid this is. You have not, Phantom, you haven't built anything, you haven't done anything, but hold on, we ADOS built this whole reparations thing, this whole movement, and this black agenda. Then you finally read the report and you say, oh, that ain't good enough. That's like building a house and then somebody comes in from out of the cold and says, well, I don't understand why you ain't got no chandeliers. I don't like a room with no chandeliers. I don't know. You didn't go far enough. What did you do? You haven't done anything. No face. So Dr. Darity says definitely not wanting to bastardize either project. He was talking about baby bonds. He was talking about reparations. Both of which I support as compliments. Too many voices on Twitter to view baby bonds as a substitute for reparations. That's my concern. He said that a while ago. He said that he's always said that baby bonds are not a substitute for reparations. He's always said that. I don't even understand what the phantom be doing. Baby bonds are not literally a bond. They are publicly funded trust accounts, and they will not close the racial wealth gap by themselves. Not a substitute for reparations. So what are y'all talking about? What is the phantom saying? And this is from today. From Darity. I must add, given further developments in this conversation, I completely reject the view that black cultural or black behavioral dysfunction is the cause of vast economic inequalities we experience, particularly the black-white wealth disparity. Yeah, because you got people over there like child No Face and Tariq saying we just got to change the culture. People change a lot. They called the Breakfast Club fake news, and before that they was trying to get an ad on the Breakfast Club. It was a lot of stuff going on, wasn't it? But now he fighting for reparations. He working on it. He ain't got no face. You can't see him. He don't be on no calls, but he don't show himself. But he working on it. He gonna want credit for it. But I thought we don't have no leaders. You setting yourself up to take credit for something, Phantasm. Oh, these people are so annoying. Show your face. But then he says reparations, and he goes right back to this do for self stuff. See, y'all some lying liars. You talk about reparations, and then you go right back to do for self. Wait a minute. Poor people stay poor because they spend the money that would make them rich on consumer goods to comfort them in their stagnation. If that were the truth, no face if that's the truth, then that means that we shouldn't get reparations. If the only reason that we don't have no monies is because, or no any wealth, is because we just spend money on the wrong thing, then we don't need reparations. You just undermine your own argument. You know why? Because it's never been your argument. You're riding a wave. You're riding the ADOS wave, and it's time to get off the train, especially if you're not going to show your face, Phantasm. This is what you really believe. Just like Tariq really believed that black women shouldn't get nothing. Black single moms shouldn't get anything. Get reparations. It has to be a man in the house, and you get a plot of land off somewhere. Imagine that. If I was a white lawmaker, if I was a white supremacist lawmaker, I'd do that junk. I'd just give a little plot of land to some man or something. That's what you would do. I'd cut a bunch of people out. Think about how many people you would cut out if you cut out single black women. Think about how many single black mothers. Think about how many people you would cut out. And this is who you follow though. I can't help it. Like the only thing I can say, and No Face did a whole release, with his thing or whatever he was. Listen, the only thing I can say to everybody is that with this world we live in, you're going to get the politics you deserve. There's no way around it. And so what's going to happen, I'm trying to put it in a certain way and trying to help people to understand what's going to happen. But you get the politics you deserve. So if you keep Tariq and you keep No Face, you're going to get that politics, which means no politics. Because their thing that they're doing is about a hustle. It's not about politics. It's about the next documentary. It's about we're gonna do a conference. The conference is not gonna be politics, because Tariq said Nasheed said he don't do politics, right? So that means you're gonna basically have a meet and greet / networking conference with no expectations of, like when Antonio and I did the ADOS conference. The next step in that was Project Takeover, right? This is how we're going to move, and we're going to have to assess the effectiveness of it and everything. So you're going to hold me accountable on that, and we're going to decide what the agenda is going to be. There's a whole body of work that is entailed in doing that. That's different than somebody giving you a network conference and charging you to take pictures with them. How many people were at the ADOS conference? Did I charge anybody to take a picture with me? Did Antonio? No, we're family. We mean it. We don't call you family. Please donate to the Buck Breaking Conference. We don't call you fam and then charge you to take a picture or charge you to sit up front or charge. No, that's not a family. That means you're using me. That's different. Either we're a family or we're not. I'm not charging you for that. And I don't know how y'all let a pimp charge y'all for nothing. I don't even know how you let a pimp charge you for something like that. This is a pimp / comedian and who's not really funny, who just had to think about stuff overnight and be like, yeah, I got a new slang, dusty musty. I'm going to call him. I've been thinking about this for a while. That's one thing I figured out last night when we were going back and forth. Like, you can't think of stuff real good on the fly. And then you just say, I won. You just mad. You just took a L. Nobody took a L. You just say stuff. And then people who follow you, this like mindless hive you have are like, yeah, Tariq, she took a L. What is wrong with y'all? But you get the politics. Everybody's going to get the politics they deserve. So if you choose to go with Tariq, the only thing he's going to tell you is don't vote. And the white supremacist society and the white society don't do this. And the black society do that. He's going to be talking about this till he's gray-headed. Living a good life. But how is your life? Tariq is not your older brother. He's not your daddy. How is your life? How is the life of your kids, your parents, your uncle, your niece, your nephew? What are you going through? Because Tariq done told you he live in a $2 million house with marble tables. He done told you that. He done told you he don't need your money except he's still going to keep it. He told you all of that. How is your life? And why do you keep taking money out of your pocket to give it to a man who says, I'm not going to do politics, I'm going to do culture? Fam, we don't need culture. The reason people go to Capitol Hill because that's where the money's at. The same reason say he robbed banks. He said that's where the money is. The money's on Capitol Hill. That's why you do politics. Their whole budgets, those budgets and those rights, the budgets and the rights that they afford, all of those things determine outcome. Tariq Nasheed does not determine anybody's outcome but his own. So I think the question becomes, how long as a community are we going to allow ourselves to be fleeced? Are we going to get together and do politics together as a collective and force politicians and tell politicians you're not going to get elected unless you give us what we want, unless we get our agenda, or we are going to let people to finesse us with documentaries? How long are you going to do that? Nothing wrong with a documentary, but a documentary is not politics. At a certain point, you have to, if you're going to say you're going to change somebody's life, you have to do it. You can't say you're just going to change the culture and everything's going to come along with the culture. No, that's just a way for you not to hold yourself and no face accountable. And that's why everybody's coming at me, especially me and Antonio, but that's why you're coming at me, because you don't like it. You don't like it. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Y'all let a pimp attack single black mothers. And that's who you follow. And let me just say this. I call out everybody. When it's women doing stuff, I call them out. Right? I've done this and I've gotten a lot of flack for it. Men, let me tell y'all something. This Tariq and Jason Black stuff, that's on y'all. Y'all the ones who show up and sniggle and giggle. This is on y'all. Everybody, you have to try to figure out whether you're going to lead your life. Listen, you got to figure out whether you're going to be in your household, lead your household, whatever you do, or whether you're going to pay for Tariq's household or pay for Jason Black's household. Either you're going to do the work for your house or you're going to pay for their house. I'll end it on that. Now, the choice is yours. If you don't do it, it's no sweat off my back. Because everybody's going to get, like I said, everybody's going to get the politics they want, the politics they deserve. So let me set up the phones, fam, be back in a flash, and we will have the conversation. I am back, family. I am back. Callers, when I call your area code, please, when you hear your area code, please turn down your phone. I would appreciate it. So I am going to go to the first caller. I'm going to get right into it. Hold on 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. 1 second. Oh, gotta go to first. I'm going to 310. 310. What's going on?
Well,
What's up?
so this tone, so I just kind of wanted to call in and give my piece. I got a couple things to get through. Can you pull that PowerNomics book up? You know, it just kind of kicks off because they did the little Breakfast Club thing, and all these people do these passive aggressive things, and everybody like, why, you know, he might not have been talking about you. He's talking about us. Let's just have the discussion. Now, mind you, I really wasn't interested in it, but you can't talk about it and circulate it and then ask about it and then be like, because when Tone come, I'm coming. I'm just coming. The Yvette coming. So either we just don't not acknowledge it and he just gonna talk about whatever he got going on, or we just gonna have it out. So he said his piece, now here's my piece. So when you look at PowerNomics, the first level is group economics. We'll do the group economics. Then when you get the group economics, you're gonna go to the second level. Second level, what you gonna do? This is the presentation that Claude gives, right? Second level, what you gonna do? You gonna buy your politician. Then it's always a theme. In the world that we live in, all of that happens at once. That's the first thing. First thing is it all happens at once, right?
True.
But more importantly, he built everything off of community. The idea of a group economics where there's a trust. I have no idea how you guys have gotten to a point, elder or not. Understand, you're dealing with somebody that's kind of wild. I don't got that grandma and that grandpa that taught me how to fix no car, so stop all of that with me in my chat. I think sometimes what happens is y'all get me confused with somebody else you know that's a lawyer. And I'm saying this to you straight, all y'all that be talking in my chat, like, just stop all that talk. So let's talk about Claude straight to straight as a man. As a man, for if the accusations that this black bank owner, pull the black bank owner up for me, are true. If they are true, there was he gave you a high-risk loan for your tilapia business. So let's see if this PowerNomics thing could work. The first lesson. You did it and failed. You filed for BK. We're not here to talk about that. But then, if the accusations are true, when you sold the equipment, start moving it to people and all that, slick talk. You can no longer talk about PowerNomics once you do that, if the accusations are true. Now, in addition to the next step, instead of saying, I just got caught, you let this man possibly risk his job, not want to do no more group economics for the next black person, and go to like depositions with a white lawyer. I'm just saying to y'all, stop all the elder talk. If your pops, if your grandpops in your life, that's cool for you. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at this straight on. And I'm saying this to you because what I'm seeing right now, y'all can't look at it straight on because your mama and your daddy and your grandmama had to wash your dryer and they helped you a lot. That's good for you. I'm not doing that though. I'm looking at it straight on. If Claude had did the best thing, did the best thing, and it just went to BK, I'd even be more forgiving.
Yeah.
But I feel for this black bank right here. And y'all don't. Let's say it again. I feel for this black bank that took a risk loan to see if this PowerNomics thing, this wild stuff could work. And y'all don't. Y'all telling me that something that he wrote in 2000 for 2005 and didn't work and failed, we should allow this to stand in 2020. None of that makes any sense, Yvette.
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying this to you because on a lot of levels, people keep talking to me about elder. Once you get to like 35 or 40, everybody just grows. We grow. You respect me and don't mention me, and I respect you and won't mention you. But if you call me, I'm there. And I'm saying this to you because I'm looking at this whole thing, And you look at the second level, man. And the second level was you go buy the politician. But it's a then. Okay, whatever. It all gotta happen at once, but we gonna take the then. We live in a Citizens United world where Bloomberg just said, I want to run for president. The one billionaire can basically fund your presidential campaign now. But when he wrote the book, there was tax. We live in a chaotic America. His book is basically so dated, it's irrelevant. It's just the truth. It's irrelevant economically and then also legislatively. It's just irrelevant. Nothing that it says actually is today. We don't live in Europe where it was kind of static over the course of the last 20 years. We live in America where policy changed so much over the course of our lives, where literally we go from a time in 1980 where the 35-year-old people of all races were taking home 21% of the income to now 35 years old of all income only take home 3%. So let me say that again. In 1990, all the 35-year-olds were taking home 21% of the income. The government was saying, we want y'all to buy homes. We want y'all to be good. We want to prop you up. All of this ideology comes from there, that moment. We don't live there. We live in an America where they've forgotten us as workers. Mm. That means that you need to do a new book or just be quiet. You can't do a new book, it's okay. But you don't get to just bring out the old book, though. And I come to you because I want to talk also about Tariq and Black. Look, y'all asked us to try to make it where they could be part of stuff. We did that, and it just got worse and worse. I'm going to create some new stuff. I'm going to talk about Trump and just lose. Because I keep coming back to it. These are high school educated people. I know our race is full of those. I don't need those people with me as I move. In the sense of, let me say it like this. I don't need somebody that isn't an economist helping me understand economics because they can't help me understand economics at the level that I'm trying to understand it. I need Darity. There's a lot of concept I bounce off of him before I get it to y'all. This report is a brain trust document, and I'm going to talk about the report in a second. That's on my end on. He came to me out of the decade veil because he wanted to do a MIST report. And people talk about the last page. It wasn't a solutions report. In fact, they talk about like one sentence out of the last page. Mm-hmm. So you ain't going to read none of the rest. And you're going to read the last page. Because you know why, Yvette? Why? This is the difference. That's that high school education level. You read the first page and the last page, and you act like you know what's in the middle. Ooh. So it's lazy too. I'm just saying, and the same. Let me say this. This ain't even about the high school education or anything else. If you watch Claude's video and then watch Darity's videos, there's an effort that goes into presentation that Claude don't do. I'm talking about like all the videos just be him doing his hands, like back and forth. He don't got no infographics. He don't got nothing. Like it's just him saying some stuff. It's not any kind of effort to tell y'all in a way that you take it home, digest it informationally and graphics, or it's just that's not how you do things. That's lazy. That's a lazy presentation. Take it how you want to. And I'm saying about 7 of them I watched, and they always the same way. It's just me stand up, I'm gonna start talking, I'm saying this, and I'm not gonna prove nothing with no data, no facts, because what you gotta ask, and this is why the PhD in education matters versus the PhD in economics. So all the way there. When you get a PhD in education, you learn how to teach people different kinds of materials, but you learn how to teach people like not economics though. You learn how to teach people how to read and write. You learn how to teach people math. What Darity is doing is stuff macroeconomics, and this guy specifically is doing a specific kind of economics. What Darity is effectively doing. Let me say it again. What Darity is doing is called intergenerational economics. That is the study of wealth moves between generations. Can the guy that teaches education be like the kind of guy that, if it's a war, just cut your arm off? Yeah. But can he do the surgery, the neurosurgery, that the MIT economists can do? Mm-mm. No. injury and y'all asking me to talk to somebody who cuts off arms. And I'm saying this to you because I don't think you understand the kind of level that let me say it in a sense of this. Even with Shapiro, along with Melvin Oliver, came up with the term racial wealth gap. I interviewed Shapiro for hours on my channel. Thomas Shapiro was telling me about a study he did in Baltimore, I believe, where he studied, I think it was a smaller sample, like 100, 150 kids over the course of 20 years. Black kids and their performance over the course of 20 years. Where is Claude's scholarship like that? Because he don't do studies.
Neither does boys.
He just says hard enough, this.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this to you because that fantastical stuff can't work in America that has forgotten it. See, this brings me to the last point about our study. Well, our paper, because it really wasn't a study. It was a paper I did for free. I didn't worry, Duke didn't pay me nothing. I did that for free because I wanted to do it in the terms of, and something that Darity had in his head, but the decadent veil kind of made it. What is the myth that people, not just black people, but particularly black people, have about what's too close to racial wealth gap? Education, home ownership, financial literacy, basically everything that Jason Black says and don't know what he's talking about. Just saying. You got a PhD from MIT. Go look up MIT, those people that don't know MIT is elite. And then you got a guy that might graduate from high school. We don't know, but it looks like high school. And he's telling you that the guy that's graduated with a PhD and presents to the Federal Reserve is wrong. Let you do what you do. You can get your neurosurgery from whoever you want to. But we did the report. I have 2 sections in there that I fully worked on. But it came out in April of 18. In April of 18 it came out. Nobody was talking about reparations. It wasn't the national discussion it is today.
Yep.
That report is one of the building blocks for ADOS. So ADOS is created from the report, and then they have their own solutions, these other economists, that they believe not that will close the racial wealth gap, but be good for general wealth inequality. That's what they do, though. They work at universities. Well, people got the audacity to attack the report, not praise the report for saying reparations when nobody was saying it, but attack the report for mentioning general wealth inequality. In addition to reparations. And if I remember, reparations is mentioned first. And this is a guy in Darity who stands almost alone in this space. I don't think y'all understand. There really aren't other economists like Darity because all the black people went to social sciences. We went into the part, what we do, PhD in education, theology. You're attacking the guy who has propped up the discussion on reparations for decades. And I say this to you because I know it. On the third level, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I believe it's black media, right? Black media. That's what Claude say, right? The problem again is, okay, let's say it again. So the problem again is also on the group economics level. I've been dealing with Darity regularly, but when you get to the media level, I've talked to Byron maybe a few hundred, if not like a lot of hours.
Yep. Well,
you might say, he just Byron Allen. Tone, why you keep mentioning it? There are 4 news networks in America. Let me tell you the 4. Standalone news networks. There's CNN, MSNBC, Fox. And what's the 4th one, Yvette? You're telling me, as I talk to the man that owns the Weather Channel, the black man that owns the Weather Channel, and set up for ADOS to galvanize across the country, to stand on the Supreme Court desk as we protect everyone's civil rights is the finesse. And you're a high school educated guy that's a pimp. It doesn't make any sense, bro. I blocked Tariq Nasheed as well. I'm not dealing with him no more. Don't send me no more of his messages. Not good enough. Jason Black, you can stop it, bro. Not good enough. I don't have time for these people. I need to move forward. I need you to move forward. If you can't move forward, it's okay. But this is a necessary discussion. As far as Claude, ain't nobody that made Africatown or PowerNomics or did that stuff at the bank put in on this ADOS. Now, I'm not saying that Claude didn't help some of y'all learn something about economics in some way. But maybe he helped you in all the wrong ways. Because what we see right now is that you believe. Yvette, they lucky I'm not on the stage. I hit them with that step. They believe that. They believe in the group economics where 10 tilapia fish can lead you to being able to take over America. They believe in an America where, like Tariq said, they just need to give us a plot of land in the middle of America. My mama was a single mama. She had her own issues, but she was a single mama. Good and bad of it. But damn sure she deserves her reparation. I don't do the whole little, if y'all listen to my videos, I don't even talk about this, I'm going to be straight. I don't do the baby doll or my queen. I don't do none of that. But what I'll tell you today is that I love black women. What I'll tell you today is that what he says is bed rich and then queen. What I tell you today is I don't have no video where I said single black mothers shouldn't get reparations because they can't manage the money. I don't know how you recast that any other way as than racist. It's sexist as well, but it's racist. I don't know how you follow a black empowerment channel that has some of the most racist content I've ever seen on single black mothers. I'll leave that alone. All right.
Appreciate it, Antonio. As always, Antonio coming with that fire. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just, I think, when we talk about how the end game looks, right? What Tariq is gonna do, right? He can't do the bed winch thing right now because he can't do it right now because we got, like I said, we got to be a collective. So what's gonna happen is once he's past this FBA thing that he's basically done created this copycat group. Once he's past that, what he's gonna do is he's gonna start back saying bed winches. And let me go to something else Antonio said about elders. Even if you're gonna have an elder, I think we forget that being an elder is about an exchange, right? Like the reason you treat your elder with so much respect and deference if they're an elder is because of what they have given to you. Not only in wealth, but in terms of wisdom that they have betrothed you. So your deference to them and the way you kind of bow down is because I have received so much. The bounty I have received from you has been so much. You are wise and you have left me resources as well as wisdom I will carry throughout my life. That's not it, Claude. That's not it for you. So I think, that's what we have to do. And we have to make everybody stand on their own. Dr. Claude got to stand on his own. Tariq really need to just stop with the FBA as a clone of ADOS and trying to do it. It doesn't work. You don't have the content for it. Just go do your buck breaking thing because it's not going to work with you because you don't have the content for that. You're not a well-read person. You're not a thinking person. You don't access. What you do is think about jokes and what can I call people? I can call them Dusty. I can call them, what can I do? What can I call Yvette? Yvette the yokel or something. I'm going to think of something. You write, I know you be up all night writing while we be sleeping. You be writing up jokes and up jokes. You need to let this FBA thing go. But I know he's not going to do it because he's got the money for the conference. So he's got to at least go through the conference because a pimp don't never get no money back. Right? So he's going to at least do that. But I don't think he should. I think he should just give it back because it's just a clone organization anyway. Give that back. You didn't come up with anything. You didn't create any new idea. You didn't create any new pathway in terms of politics. You just kind of echoed what we said and made it your own. And now that there's a break, you don't have anything anymore. You just have a shell. You have a void. And that's going to become a problem for you because you can't piggyback me anymore. Without nobody calling you out and being like, why are you saying exactly what Yvette said? That's going to become a problem. Just like when you copy me all the time. Stop copycatting, bro. Go do your own stuff. Go make up your own stuff. Go read some books and think about what you're going to do politically. Like, why don't y'all tell Tariq, you got to come up with an agenda. Like, if you say we're FBA and you don't do ADOS, then you can't keep copycatting ADOS. You have to come up with your own political agenda. I just have a problem with the way that you all don't hold people accountable. It seems to me that the only people who ever get held accountable are Yvette and Antonio. And I don't have any problem with it, but I have a problem when you only hold me accountable and you don't hold anyone else accountable. You don't even make Jason Black show his face. You don't make Tariq have any kind of agenda. He can go over there and go on his show and say, stand on your square. And nobody in the comments says, why are you copying Yvette verbatim all the time? Make him create his own stuff. And if his own stuff is going to be buck breaking, ask yourself, how long are you going to put up with this? And even in terms of you want a comedian, I just go to Tariq to laugh. There are better comedians on the internet. Anyway, I'm going to the next caller, family. I'm going to 404. 404, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Yvette and family. This is Charlotte calling from Sandy Springs. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Oh, Yvette, I am perplexed tonight.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm perplexed. Yeah. Listen, Yvette, I've been wanting to comment on this subject because there have been many occasions where I could have called in to tell you what I'm about to tell you on this very subject. It just keeps popping up, you know?
I got you.
This whole thing, I've been listening to you all, you and Tone. I've even, stomached some of Tariq's shows. And it was, okay, I'm not going to go there. Can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, right? So, I've stomached some of his shows. I've stomached some of Jason Black and Professor Truth and, just the whole thing. Just trying to gather as much information as I possibly can, right? Well, anyway, there was a show that came on where boys, and I'm not going to, although I should give him his kudos and put doctor in front of it, but this night he was not acting as a doctor should. Okay. But anyway, Boyd was interviewing, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Khalid.
Oh, Talib Kweli. Yeah, okay, Kweli, whatever.
Yeah. And so, and I was sitting there like with my mouth open. I could not believe the things that I was hearing. Now, I knew in listening to Boyd every once in a while that he really wanted to come back and join forces with you. I mean, he was thirsty for it, Yvette. He was just throwing out all kind of clues about, how we need to do this and that in the black community. And he would even repeat some of the things that you were saying. And I would be thinking to myself, just call her, apologize.
Oh, I blocked him on my phone. He can't call me no more. I blocked him on my phone. I blocked him a while ago. I can't, no.
No. Right, but this was a while ago. This was like last year, I think. Okay, so or the earlier part of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, well, I digress. So anyway, in this particular interview, he and Twali was talking about taking over the movement. Like taking over the ADOS movement. And then they went on to say something about creating their own. Now, I bring this up, Yvette, because it was shortly thereafter that Jason Black started talking against ADOS and Dr. Anderson started, mentioning things negatively about ADOS, and Tariq started mentioning things negatively. And I'm thinking, has this virus spread? I mean, has somebody had some backdoor conversations about bringing down ADOS so they could build their own? And this was like right around the time that ADOS took a step on the national stage. Like around the time when Tone Antonio did the interview on BBC. No, it was an Al Jazeera on BBC.
Al Jazeera.
I'm sorry. On Al Jazeera. Right. So it was around that same time. And so I'm thinking, is this a power grab that's happening here? And it has just gotten worse and worse and worse, which makes me think there's a snake in the garden that somebody is pulling the strings to make this thing happen. And why are they so thirsty to come after ADOS? I don't understand it.
Well, I do. Listen, let me just say this, fam. I think there's a point to what you're saying, but I think part of it is money, right? Like you gotta understand that Tariq Nasheed, somebody pulled up the paperwork. He filed that FBA paperwork right after the ADOS conference, and I think what he was looking for was, is this going to be successful, right? If it's going to be successful, that's my weather vane. If the ADOS conference, if people show up for that, then I'm going to do the same thing and try to make money off of it. I think that they have seen a way. See, we haven't tried to exploit ADOS for money because that's not what it is. But I think other people are seeing it and says, but there's a lot of money to be made here, and they're just leaving all this money on the table. And so they're like, how can we move and get this money? We're going to get this recognition. You know, Tariq has always been after that gaze. That's why he did the Michael Moore movie. He did the thing with Tucker Carlson. He's always been after, like, trying to get that attention. Even though he'll say, I don't know why they were in the New York Times. You know, that wasn't a good look. Tariq, you on Tucker, you on Fox News, homeboy. What are you talking about? So I think they want that attention, and I think they want the money too. They want to squeeze this dry. That's the MO with Boyce and Tariq. They come up with something, squeeze the turnip all the way dry, and then come up with a new thing and say, oh, that, you know, we got to do a new documentary, or we got to do a new conference, we got to do a new thing, and we got to charge some money for it because you got to pay. You pay the Chinese man, you pay the Asian man, you pay everybody else. Why you don't want to? You pay the white man. Why you don't want to pay me? So I think when people see a money-making opportunity, like, they come together and they coordinate and they say, how can we take over this money-making opportunity for ourselves? Because they're not making money off of it.
That is correct. And you know, Jason, he makes those documentaries also.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how he crowdfunds his. But I know, and that's what I hate most about it. They are putting money and material over the family. Yvette, let me tell you something. I'm going to end on this.
Okay.
Yvette, twice within the last couple of weeks, you know, I'm in the Atlanta metropolitan area. Twice in the last couple of weeks, I have seen women, middle age, and there was one woman, I know she was in her 80s, standing on the street corners, Yvette, begging for money.
Yeah.
And this is in the metropolitan area.
Yeah, not surprised.
And see, it's whenever I come across situations like this, I think about what ADOS really mean.
Yeah, I understand.
This is not about just money.
Well, it's not about money. It's not about money for the individual. It's about wealth for the collective. Right? It's not about money for the individual. It's about wealth for the collective group. Not like how much you can make and what kind of house, and you can floss and you can drive a convertible. It's not about that. I'm not about that. So, like, this is like, you can't have a movement like that, though. Like, you can't have the people at the head always about that, or they got to be like Boyce and pay for their lawsuits and pay for a bunch of lawyers. You can't have all that. You got to have people who are like, I'm going to do this for the movement. And so, yeah, I'm going to let you end on that, fam. I appreciate you calling in, and I agree with you. I think this has been a coordinated kind of thing. I'm sure they've had conversations, because I know they've had conversations about me and passed around different things about me, and yeah, Boyce told me this, da da da. And it's real kind of catty to hear men kind of talk that way. Well, I got this, and then Boyce, I don't even know what information Boyce passes off, because I haven't talked to Boyce in years. I haven't talked to Boyce since like late 2016. So I mean, well, communicated in terms of text, and then I blocked him. But that was like late 2016 or early 2017. Like, so I don't even know, like, when Boyce says, well, Yvette is XYZ. Boyce, we haven't talked in years. Like, let's just be clear. There hasn't been any communication between you and I. I blocked you on my phone. So I'm going to my next caller. I'm going to 248. 248, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hello?
What's going on, 248?
Hello?
Hey.
Lady Yvette Carnell.
What's
How
up?
are you doing? This is Jared from Farmington, Michigan. What's going on?
Not too much. What's going on, Michigan? It's cold.
Boy, let me tell you something, because I've been itching to talk about this. I told myself I was going to stay off Twitter all day today, and, you know, I went on, and you saw it's got my stress up. Okay, so let's just get straight to the blueberry pie. Let's just get straight to the dessert.
Okay.
So let's break this down. These people, it's because of you that I even know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. I had no knowledge, no awareness, no nothing. So I had no connections or no affinity to this person before I started following you. So all these people, all these naysayers that are trying to come at you sideways, you know, fret not. Because I've said this before, and I'll tell you directly, I have learned more following you in the ADOS community in any historical or political class in school that I have ever taken in my life. I have read more books following the Breaking Brown book clubs, probably easily within the last
year, possibly 10 years.
Yeah, I've been around a minute.
What these people are doing, right, the wealth of knowledge, I constantly find myself going back to your videos, watching stuff. Ooh, that said this was good. Quarter one, here, there, that. The wealth of knowledge. You bet you're asking these people if they've read any of the 80-plus books on the Breaking Brown Good read list. I bet you they haven't read out of one of them. How about that?
Nope.
Next off, what these people are trying to do, I have no affinity, no connections, no affinity to Dr. Claude Anderson. So I don't see why I should have any type of reverence or respect for him. It's mutual. It's a two-way street. You don't give respect unless you give respect. What these people, is there the way and things that they've said, it's almost as if you've committed an act of blasphemy against their personal Lord and Savior. It's like, well, right, you have to attack him. Well, how dare you? What these people are doing, this is what they're doing. What they're essentially doing is these deacons of discord, or what you call them, the agents of chaos, what they're doing is basically selling black liberation cultural religion. That's basically what it is. Now listen, if I want some feel good, I could go to church for that. There's a church probably in anybody's local community. I don't have to go through that to get some feel good. These people are just selling some black liberation religion, and anybody got time for that. Ooh. They're all shiesty, and what they do, see, I see the kind of what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is they hide, they throw rocks and they hide their hands, they hide behind something. They say, oh, Yvette and Antonio, oh, they're just villains. You know, Boyce does it because you know, previously worked for him, and he's trying to hide behind Dr. Anderson. Tariq does it. You know, what he likes to do is he likes to hide behind the code and saying, oh, Yvette and Antonio are off code. But here's the thing. You touched on this earlier in the show. It's just like how group economics can't work without a shared code of conduct. You can't have a code unless you have mutually agreed upon principles, first of all. Secondly, it requires code enforcers. And let me just address for the naysayers and the doubters and for the fence strappers too. Gotta work for you. I would like to address and say something to all of y'all. For those y'all that still straddle the fence saying, oh, I want to collect information, you know, viewpoints from all sources, you all do not have the moral authority nor the moral capital to dictate whose agenda, who gets to follow what. Let me just say that again and more clearly. You all do not have the moral authority or the moral capital to dictate the agenda and who follows the agenda, who sets the terms of the agenda, and who does what for who. They do not have either of those to hold any type of cultural or political inquisitions to try to hold people responsible. I've seen folks talking about, oh, we're going to excommunicate ADOS. We're gonna exile them. We're gonna excommunicate them. What is this? A cultural movement or the order of the Roman Catholic Church? What is this?
But how do you exile people? You didn't start anything. Like I say this a lot, but like people don't understand that like these are people who don't want to do the work. So the work that we have done dies in your hand because you're lazy. So like you're not gonna do anything except run around and talk loud. So everything dies in your hands. Like it's not fruitful if you do it.
Right. And one more thing. Like you, I went to Howard University, so I'm a fellow Bison, you know. Hey. So I took a state and local government class, I think to my second to last year. And basically, what these people are suffering from is a critical lack of critical thinking skills. The anti-intellectualism, it just makes me itch. It's just distasteful. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? You could tell just listening or just watching some of these people reply on Twitter or Facebook, whatever have you, that these people, they probably never had a performance review on a job. Like, if you have a serious job, you're eventually going to have a performance review where your employer, your manager, or whatever is saying, okay, so if you do this, you know, maybe you could improve upon this, maybe you could do this better. Like, I don't know what these people are talking about. They've never had any type of experience with any type of critical analysis, and it's just distasteful. You can tell these people have not had any type of significant post-mortem in their life, and it's just ridiculous. But for not Yvette, a little word for you: for wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and narrow is the gate that leads to grace. And
Thank you, fam.
we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna fam. Thank you, fam. We're gonna see how it shake out. We're gonna see how it shake out. But like, I just need everybody to know, like, I'm not responsible for how it shakes out. Like, there are choices that you have to make. Like, we have a lot of people in terms of our politics. You want to straddle the fence. You want to watch Tariq and say, I love Tariq, but I love you too. You can't love us too. Like, Tariq, you can't love us too. Tariq wasn't just playing the dozens. I had, whatever. But he was really pissed. Like, he doesn't like being challenged or whatever. I don't care about you. But like, I don't think we understand. Like, I don't think you understand who this person is, and I don't think everybody understands that what we're doing challenges their grift. If we're successful, then nobody has to like, oh, I'm gonna buy this doc and figure out white supremacy because Tariq gonna teach me. I'm gonna buy this doc from No Face because he gonna teach me. If we're actively working in the political realm and we start getting successes, which happens if we work there together as a collective, there's no other way about it. We'll have successes. Now, whether we get a big success first or a little one, nobody knows, but like, when you're working together in politics, nobody gets a big payday. And so that's the problem. Like, they don't want to exist in this space because their whole life is built on getting a payday. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this doc. I'm going to raise 200. I might spend about 50 to do the joint. And then I'm going to keep this and I'm going to get money. I get a big bag every time. If we start doing politics and start getting real stuff, you don't have to like exist in this like weird world of like imagination that I was, in back in Egypt. We don't got you got real life now, a real American life. So I'm going to the next caller. I am going to 206. 206, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
This is Joseph from Seattle. How you doing?
Pretty good, Joseph. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to get right to it because I can barely hear you. My phone's messing up. I'll get right to it.
Okay.
I've been noticing, and I've come to the conclusion that the code, quote unquote, the code is really a code of silence and not a code of ethics. This is a code where a lot of pro-black scammers, but we never talk about the fact that there are a lot of scammers in pro-black YouTube and pro-black social media. And what these people do is they have a code of silence. You see me scamming the people, don't knock my hustle. I see you scamming the people, I won't knock your hustle. And what I notice is these people have a cycle of predating on the black community. In the wild, people make it seem like the big bad lions and all these wild animals, they hunt each other and they fight full-grown animals. Predators hunt the weak, the old, and the babies. They hunt things that can't defend themselves. They prey on things that can't defend themselves that are easy targets. And what I noticed with these pro-black scammers is they have the same cycle. Step one, they misrepresent a problem in the black community. Oh, it's because y'all don't pull your pants up. It's because y'all ain't unified. It's because y'all ain't got no culture. Step two, they apply an unrealistic solution to the misrepresented problem. Oh, we're going to focus on culture instead of politics, and the problem will fix itself. Step three, they add money to the fake solution, so you think you're contributing and doing something. If y'all just put money up to my documentary, if y'all just put money up to my conference, then we're all going to get free. And then step four, and this is key, when it's become clear that you have been scamming the people, your exit strategy is to blame the people. Whether it's, hey man, what happened to that school we paid you for? Oh, black people don't support enough. Hey man, what happened to them flashcards and them Bitcoin deals? Oh, black people just don't support enough. That's the move to do on the way out. Now I'm going to say something else that's going to break this specific brand of pro-black scammer. These are the male counterparts to the Cynthia G's and the Paris Milans that tell black women, oh, no, it's all black men's fault. What these people do is they tell everybody it's all black women's fault. It's all the fault of single mothers. But here's something that's going to break that logic right now. I'm actually putting this link up on the YouTube page. And what this is an article that they use to point out that when we say single mother, what we really mean is unmarried mother. In an overwhelming majority of the cases, not only do the women co-parent with the father, but they all live together. The reason why they're listed as single mother is because they're going off marriage demographics. So what that means is that if you want to blame everything on single mothers, you're blaming it on fathers that are also in their lives too. So you're once again pointing the finger back at yourself as well. But they don't think. Now, lastly, I'm going to ask you something. What do Umar Johnson, Boyce Watkins, the Fly Nubian Queen, Brother Polite, and Isaiah Washington all have in common?
I don't know.
They were all people that are known, confirmed scammers in the black community that were all legitimized by Tariq Nasheed. Once he gets mad with these people, then he wants to send the warning out that, oh, Umar Johnson's a scammer, but he was your boy all in your documentary two movies ago. You call these people scammers like Isaiah Washington after you're not getting along with him, but you were obeying that code of silence about scamming us when y'all was all cool. That's all I want to say on all this. I wanted to get all that out.
Appreciate it, fam.
Fools.
Great call.
They're emasculated and they want to feel relevant.
Thank you, fam. I appreciate it. Very good call. And you know what else? You know what else is very interesting too? It's like when you talk about the code of silence. Tariq Nasheed talks now, and I don't have no dog in this fight because I don't like either. I'm not a fan of either one of these men. But he talks about Tommy Sotomayor, and he went and Tommy this. But you used to be Tommy's dude. You was Tommy's boy because y'all felt the same way about black women, right? So y'all was cool, and then all of a sudden, I can't Tommy. And then you call him crispy. I don't even like the idea of making fun of somebody's skin color. But like, it don't make no sense. But like, y'all were cool until y'all wasn't cool. And whatever made y'all not cool didn't have anything to do with black women. Like, that is what you do. You stay cool. The caller had a point. You're cool with people until like they violate you. But you're cool with the scam because y'all all running whatever y'all running. You cool with that until like it becomes a problem for you individually. I don't see how anybody like that can run a collective movement. Even when he did this stuff, like I saw somebody sent me a clip of Tariq Nasheed talking about Vlad, and because after we had a problem with Vlad and ADOS, and he was mad with Vlad. But you were the same person who was in that Vlad studio, like ambushing like your boy, like Tommy Sotomayor. You were ambushing him at Vlad, and which means you called ahead of time, and y'all probably set that up. Come on, man. But you was doing that, and now all of a sudden Vlad is a culture vulture. And I don't know why they going in, and I question them and all that stuff. Come on, no, you was cool. Yeah, the caller got a point. I'm going to my next call. I am going to, what's the call go? 973. I'm going to you. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on, Yvette? Call out of New Jersey and talk to you in a while.
What's going on?
I was more or less like stay neutral, but I just happened to venture on Twitter, and I witnessed what was going on, and just a critique. I really can't call. I mean, I gotta critique you guys just like I gotta critique the rest. So basically, the saying when they say, when you look at somebody arguing from afar, you don't know who's who. And honestly, that's how it looks on Twitter. But I will say this, and this is still on you guys. I think that when y'all enter this space, I think y'all underestimated the short-sightedness of the audience that both you guys share, because you guys do share the same audience on social media. Even when I looked at the I Got You post from Jason Black, and he outlined 2 sentences out of a report that I'm pretty sure is longer than just 2 sentences, and you had people parroting what he pointed out. The same thing when we talk about the late great Dick Gregory, when he says that we don't have a community. So now I have to basically argue with people who parrot that talking point. We might not have a community as far as a footprint economically, as far as like controlling the banks and judges and politicians, but we can have a communal cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like as Tariq would say, a code of conduct. On how we treat each other, so we can still have a community that exists that way. Now, brilliant. I agree with your logic as far as like with Jason Black and not showing his face. You know what I'm saying? That way he can spit all his rhetoric, and when it's all said and done, he can just basically go off and do his own thing undetected. I remember Jason Black said that the FBI visited him. And he says, yeah, man, you ain't doing it unless the FBI visible. So that's confirmation to the logic that you presented, that he's not low to the people who need to know who we are. Who he's hiding from is us. And that needs to, for people who just going to critically think, you know what I'm saying? That is something that needs to be addressed. Because if you can, okay, let's just say the whole argument was he wasn't calling Martin Luther King a coward. But you called a whole generation a coward. Let's use logic. This is coming from a guy who you don't know what he looks like. But you can say a whole generation. You know what I'm saying? Who basically is facing systematic racism, terrorism. Terrorism that has not been seen in history. You know what I mean? In the form of slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration. You know, Claude Anderson, people. Claude Anderson is not beyond critique, because when he did make that statement of money bouncing, when I challenged money bouncing in the community 0 times, it was during a time where those guys was harassed in Starbucks. And I got into a conversation with a female, and she says, well, we need to start supporting our own coffee shops. And I thought to myself, I said, sister, we from the same area. There's a place, there's an avenue, Central Avenue, that goes through Newark, New Jersey, that goes all the way up to Orange. I said, sister, can you please name me one black-owned coffee shop that you can support right now? She couldn't. And the fact that I know a large number of people who never even leave their community, only to commute back to work and back home. So these people are not leaving their community. So I think that basically within itself challenges the notion that black people are bouncing their money outside of the community. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like black people are walking past local-owned, black-owned McDonald's just to go to white. That's not what's happening.
All right, caller, I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm sorry, I'm sure.
All right, no problem. I'm gonna let you go. I hear some of the stuff you say, caller, but it don't really I can't do this no more. Like, I can't do the I'm not gonna take a side stuff no more. Like, you can, if you want to take a side, you can. Like, but I don't do this. We are so different in this space now. Like, me, Antonio, and all of ADOS, are so different than Tariq and No Face. I don't get, I'm not gonna take a side, and y'all both look bad when y'all was fighting. Like, Tariq instigated it, and I decided I'd play with him last night, and that's just what it was. I didn't expect him to wake up this morning and he was still mad. Like, you go to sleep and get over it. It's not a big deal. Like, you didn't expect somebody to get challenged and play the dozens with you, and we played the dozens. Like, you don't wake up and be like, and then start reposting the same joke. Like, this joke didn't get enough laughs last night. But I can't do it with these finstrellers. I can't. Some stuff you said is good, some stuff, but I can't do this. Like, that's what we are. Well, I like you, but when y'all was fighting, he instigated the whole fight. He instigated the whole thing. That's him. Like, you have to understand. Like, I don't understand how you say, like, when I brought this up, I don't understand. And I brought this up with Tariq this morning just because I wanted to see if this Negro was going to apologize. Are you going to say, I made a mistake, I should not have said this? And when you said no single mothers on that MF, we can't have that single mother SHIT. It's too much bull S going on in the hood, and it's single mothers raising BITCH in out here, man. I wanted to see if the dude was going to apologize. That's why I kept reposting it. Those of you who watched this morning, and he's talking about black women, single black mothers not getting reparations and all this stuff. I wanted to see. I always have. There's always a method to my madness. I wanted to see if I keep reposting this, is he ever going to address it and say, you know what, I don't mean that no more. I meant it then, and I'm kind of stupid. Like, but I'm not stupid all the time, and I'm not stupid today. I didn't mean it. He never apologized. He never even addressed it. That means he still agrees with what he said. Like, if you told me, Yvette, you got mad with me last week, and you called me dog face, and then I say whatever, and I keep ignoring you. Listen, you want to get something? Did you hear what I said? You called me. Well, if you keep saying that, If you keep saying what you said, if I keep moving and I don't address it, that means I agree with calling you dogface or whatever. He never addressed it. I posted that video up like 14 times in his thread when we were going back and forth this morning. He never addressed it. I said, address the video. Address the video. He never addressed it because he still agrees with it. But he's doing a different kind of finesse right now, so he can't talk about it. He'll get back to it, though. But I can't do the fence riding no more. I saw you. I saw him. I ain't like none of it. But I'm going to keep watching both of y'all. I can't do that no more. Y'all going to have to learn to pick a side. If you're going to pick that side, that's fine. Bye. But stop coming over here if you pick the side. If you on the fence, I can't do it no more. So anyway, fam, let us go to the next caller. Let us go to, what day of the week did we go? Who we going to next? I'm trying to go to a number I maybe ain't seen. But then I can't remember the numbers half the time. Let's go to 786, fam. 786, where you calling from? What's on your mind?
How you doing, Yvette?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. This B. I'm from Miami, Florida, by way of Columbia, South Carolina.
What's going on?
I spoke with you the first time, November 4th, the night my son was born. You did a show and I called in that night.
I remember that. We wish you congratulations.
Yeah, how you doing? But like I said last time, they keep throwing these jabs, and we gonna throw these haymakers. And for the people who want to keep playing both sides of the fence, they need to get going, because guess what? We not FBA and they not us. We ADOS over here. So all the people that keep talking about we need to come together, we don't need to come together with people that's bashing us every day. And for Jason Bourne, you call him Phantom, I call him Jason Bourne because I don't know who the guy is, but I think it's real cowardly for him to always go at Tone and post pictures of Tone, but he hide his face. And like the other caller said, he throwing rocks and he hiding his hands. And to me, that's not no person I want to even attempt to think about letting lead me into anything. Yeah. And another thing, a lot of these YouTube scammers, they always asking for donations, and that's what it seems like their main focus is donations. And one thing I could give you and Tone is that you all never ask for donations. Y'all always let, the people give if they want to give out the counters of their heart.
Yeah, we don't set no standard. And I tell people, I don't set no standard. Like, if you want to give, you give. But I also tell people, like, you can like the show, or you can go to subscribe to Brown. Give me your email. Just there are a lot of ways to do and help me that don't have anything to do with giving money, and people can do what they want to do. I'm not going to say you got to do this, or you got to do a fundraiser, or I need this, or give me this by next week, or I don't do none of that. So,
and that's what I respect, because I was one who used to tune in to this person, boys, Vicky, all of them. But as I started listening and learning things, I started understanding like who was picking sides and who wasn't being very clear. And I don't get a breakdown better from nobody than you and Tone. Like everything y'all say, it always comes with facts. There's always a chart. There's always some type of visual to see what you all talking about. But I just gotta say once again, for all the people who be over there and they come over here, and I understand we gotta watch our enemies close and kind of see what they trying to do, so we can know how to plan our clap back if we have to. But like you say, pick a side. Yeah. Cause we not FBA or B1 and they not us. Yeah. And it ain't no being two-faced and playing both sides. So people need to get it together. And I'm pretty sure Jason Bourne is gonna be ready to do his show after the night, cause he listening and he watching.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I just want to say, be real, dude, and show your face.
Yeah, show your face. Show us what it is. You can't keep talking about what other people look like and stuff too. Yeah, show your face. Show your face. Thank you.
You're not riding for the cause. If you being scared of being assassinated or anything, well, guess what? You wasn't ready to be up front anyway, because Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they died for us, and they had it way worse than now. But don't hide behind words and a computer screen and keep coming at Tone. Let Tone see who his enemy is. Yeah. So if he run into you, he know what he need to do.
But that's what he don't want. He don't want nothing like that. He don't want that. He don't want that.
and you made it clear tonight that something that I didn't think of myself, and I'm starting to really think that I don't think the dude is really black. And him and this Professor Black person, I think they're the same. I think they're the same people.
I do too. I do too. I
But
think
like I
that too.
said, I call him Jason Bourne. But you keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, fam.
My son, he getting bigger and growing healthy and everything. And I just want to say happy holidays for those that
You
celebrate.
too.
I myself don't believe in the Christmas thing and all
That's
these
fine.
holidays. Y'all ones who taught me to like really look into this stuff, and now I'm starting to fall back from a lot of this, pre-made stuff and
I
starting to
understand.
see the world and things for myself. So I just want to say good night, Adolph's family, and you and Tone keep up the good work, and tell Tone that I ain't never heard him. I heard him tonight. So I know
I let him know.
got him blowing. So yeah, Jason, if you just be a man to show your face and confront another man as a man's supposed to. Don't hide behind the excuse.
Hey, thank you, fam. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yeah, show your face, fam. I ain't never seen nobody criticize nobody like you criticize everything about his employment. Now, we don't know what you do. When you say he's not an attorney, you're wrong. But I don't know what you do. We don't know anything about you. Antonio sounds like this. We don't know what you do. I know you sound like movie phone. Hello. I told you all. We came here and I told you I can't show my face. Didn't I say that in my last video? Like, come on, dude. What's with all these theatrics? I don't want to hear this. Like a narrator for a movie trailer. And then the next, Jason Bourne. I mean, like, show your face. Like, come on, person to person. Show your face. And I don't even know how you can deal with this person and they not show their face. Fam, I know everybody, the queue is full. I understand it. But we're at the 2-hour mark, fam. We might have to do a part 2 or something with this one. But listen. We are at the 2-hour mark, so I have to go, fam. I have to go. I appreciate everybody. Please, 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 please. Hit that like button before you go. I would appreciate it, fam. Please hit that like button. Please hit that bell before you go. I didn't bring the book up tonight, but They Were Her Property. That's the book for the book club that we will absolutely be reading on January the 30th. So please do that. I would appreciate it, fam. If you could. I know everybody got a lot to say, and I apologize if I couldn't get to, because we got fewer. I had fewer callers this time because people talked a little bit longer, I think. But it is what it is, fam, and we just gonna keep on pushing and keep on doing what we doing. We just gonna. That's all we can do. Get off of that fence. It's gonna give you a rash. Get off of the fence. You don't want to get no burn or nothing like that. So please do that, fam. And until next time, until we meet again, please take care of yourself. Be easy breezy. And don't let these people get you too upset. If you get upset, make sure you calm down quick. You don't want these people to get your blood pressure all high like that too long. So until next time, fam, take it easy breezy. Until we talk again.